Okay, so let's start where we left off. We know that our transformation is um negative 45, well, positive 45 degrees, right? But we know if it's positive, it's going to go to the negative side, right? So let's start negative 45. It should be around here, right? So, and we know that our cycle is, well, 720, right? But if you take 45 away from, well, 45 away from 720, well, what we should get, let's, what's 45 take away 720? 720 take away 45, that should equal 675. Equals 675, right? So 675, it's around 660s here. Let's just say around here somewhere, right? Just around, estimately around here somewhere. This, and this, these 2 points, right? Between this and this, right? This should be a one cycle, right? And well, what's the midpoint between these two, right? So what you do is, well, in 720, right, divide by 2, that was 360, right? But we're dealing with here 675, I believe. We have 675 degrees, right? That's our period. Well, that's in the graph, right? So it's half of, well, what? Okay, well, let's do this. So what's 1, right? So what's it's 45, right? So negative 45. Well, what's 45 plus 675 equals this, which is 720 divided by 2 should give you 360, right? But then you only have 675 right now, right? So what's 675 divided by 2 is 337.5. Okay, so 337. 337 is, well, here, right? Because 360 is just halfway between that, right? Because 330 plus 30 is going to be 360, and this is 300. And it makes sense, right? Because it seems the halfway between these 2 points, right? So what's, whoops, I'm just uploading another one of my videos. So what's half of these 2 points, right? The half of these 2 points will be your maximum, right, point, and half of these 2 points will be your minimum. Well, will be your minimum point, yeah. So what's half of these two? Well, half of these two, well, what's half of these two? Okay, so we have 337.5, I believe. Well, yeah, divided by 2 should give me 168. So 168, which is around here, right? Which is around here. That'll be my midpoint, and it seems right? It seems about right. Looks middle. And half between these two, well, that will be, well, that should be one, well, that should be basically, well, okay, no. So from there to there was how much? That was 337.5 divided by 2, right? Equals 168, right? So what we do, 168.75, but yeah, but we don't count the 0.75, like, that's nearly impossible to do, right, accurately. So we just take the 168. So what we do now is that we know our middle point is going to be what? Our middle point is going to be, well, 675 divided by 2, right? 675, 337.5, right? And half of, and now we add 168 to that, right? And that's just 505. So that should be our next middle point, right? Because the middle point of between 0, right, from here to here, right, from here to here was, well, 337, I believe, right, 0.5, and the middle point of that was 168. So you just added 168, right, from 0. So the same thing here, you're just going to add 168 from, well, from this point, which is 337, right? 337 plus 168 should give you 505, as you saw there. What? 337 plus 168 should give you 505. 505, right? So that's your midpoint. So midpoint is gonna be, well, 505 is 540, and so it should be around there somewhere, right? That's another one of your midpoints. Now, once you're done with adding the points, right, where the points are gonna be, so this is your 1. So let's do it in a different color, right? This is your 1 point, 2nd point, 3rd point, 4th point, and your last 5th point, right? Because these are your last points, right? And this is where your cycle starts and ends. So now we have done the horizontal transformation, right? You're done with that. Now you have to do the vertical, right, which is -2. And we've done the period, right? So we've done these two. So this is how I do it. First I do my horizontal, right? Horizontal, and then do my verticals, which is this and that, right? Then I do them together. So now I'm going to do the vertical displacement, or my mean value, right, which is -2. So I'm going to take this and put a line at -2, right? That's my new x-axis now, right? So now we just basically, right, shift our points from the top to the bottom, right? And that's simple as that. So let's do it. So this comes down there, this comes down there, this comes down there, this comes down there, and this comes down there, right? So now from there, right, so we have our basic points, 5 points, right? And we know the middle point from the midway point of the cycle, right? So we know that, right? So this is a basic graph of 360, right? And this is a basic sine graph. Whoops. So this is the basic sine graph, right? And we know the middle point, right? The middle point, right? That's going to be 0. So the middle point is here, right? This is the 3rd dot, right? Because you have 2 on this side and 2 on that side. This is going to be 0. And the first one, right, is going to be a maximum point. This is going to be a maximum. This is going to be a minimum, right? And this is going to come back to 0. So yeah. So now we plot, right? And we know the amplitude is 2. So it's going to go 2 up, right? So it's going to go 1 and 2. So it's going to be on the 0, right? Because -2. What's -2 plus 2, right? Because the amplitude is 2, so it's going to be -2 plus 2. Well, that equals 0. That's your maximum point, right? Max, right? And our minimum is going to be, well, just add 2 to it, so it's going to be -4, right? So at this point, it's going to be -4, right? Because, well, what's -2? Take away 2, right? That's -4. Right, and the graph, and well, then you're done the graph, right, basically. So it should look something like so. Whoops, nope. Something like so, right? And that's your transform graph, right? And now we just added our axes, which is y and x-axis, and we are done. And this is how you basically plot, well, a transform sine graph.